Hey, I'm Scotty Haas. I went to the New Student Dialogue of the Intercultural Conflict Resolution through Dialogue last Wednesday, and I'd like to do my vlog now. And first I'll answer the questions that were at the end of the PowerPoint, which were, what would it look like if we approached our conflicts with empathy? And my response is, if we approached all of our conflicts with empathy, it would show more empathetic traits such as affection and companionship rather than being aggressive and violent. It would lead to every conflict being resolved and there would be no wars or even disagreements at that. However, one cannot show empathy in every realm because of conflicting ideas. But with those conflicts, one could possibly show empathy by showing understanding for the other ideas despite having conflicting beliefs. And then I'll go to the next question, which was, is it possible that we could extend our empathy to the entire human race? And it is possible to extend our empathy to the entire human race. However, it's pretty much very improbable because of everyone's conflicting ideas, different cultures, and everyone's different beliefs. And the third question was, how do you react to the comment, we show solidarity with our compassion? And the first part about that is I would like to define solidarity, which if you just quickly look it up on the all-knowing Wikipedia, is solidarity is the integration and degree of type of integration shown by a society or group with people and their neighbors. It refers to the ties in a society, social relations that bind people to one another. That is the technical definition of it as defined by Wikipedia. And now my response to the question, which is, by showing compassion, you are showing that you feel for the other person and that because they are equal to you, as in they are a human just like you are, you share their pains, struggles, and even success. So therefore you're showing compassion to that person through solidarity, which is seeing them as an equal to you. And the next question on the PowerPoint is, why do you think dialogue is a component of Library 100? And I'd like to say that dialogue is a component of Library 100 because it kind of opens up your mind to the world and how you fit among that world. And it was kind of interesting, and a lot of the videos and stuff that we watched too were really interesting. And all the different NSDs and all the different dialogues all seemed kind of interesting, and I wish I could have had a chance to go to more of them than just the one that I went to. And now for my additional thoughts and observations as I see fit. And I'd like to touch on the little conflict response inventory that was passed out, and I filled it out. And a couple of them I wanted to touch on, which, because what I noticed about myself when I filled it out was I tended to show very little leave, avoidance, internalization, and other characteristics like those. Which leave is we physically remove ourselves from conflict, and avoidance would be we avoid future encounters and withdraw emotionally from people. And I tend not to do a lot of that stuff. I prefer conflict kind of, or prefer arguing rather than, not arguing in the bad way, but arguing to get ideas across. I think it's productive. So I tend to show a whole lot more discussion, and I do this one called NAME, which is identifying what is upsetting you. And I also tend to show a little discretion because when involving arguing and conflicts, you kind of have to show discretion or you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. Like if you try to conflict with your teachers or authority, they tend to get very mad at you. And there was one more thing from the PowerPoint in the very beginning of it, or the very beginning of the lecture that I would like to talk about, which was the whole salience thing, which was, and then we talked about with salience, which is like the social identity, and the little pie charts, and describing like how like every person is and what they feel, and like the percentage of them that is shown through that. And for me, a lot of mine would probably be, like the biggest percentages of mine would probably be my age, because that always plays a role because of how young you are, I guess, and like it just comes out like with maturity and everything. And like a lot of things, like probably probably the gender male would be the next big one, because with masculinity and everything tends to show. And then probably religion and spirituality is another big, that's probably probably one of the biggest portions of my little pie chart. And that's probably because I tend to like show that, and that like kind of creates who I am, and it helps me with all the decisions that I make. So that kind of sums up my little pie chart. Or there are other little ones, but they don't make up a big enough percentage. So yeah, that's my vlog, and those are my additional thoughts after the questions. So I hope you liked it.